Okay, a bit of a different setting for this video. Someone gave me the idea for this one and I thought it'd be a bit of fun to do. I'd change it up and do it in a bit more in my own style. So it's, as you can see from the title, it's my top 7 boxer droppers. Obviously people make ridiculous videos about panty droppers, so I thought I'd change it up a bit, have a bit of fun, definitely not serious, and do a top 7 of them kind of fragrances that get me in the mood for some loving. First up is a quick kind of honourable mention, and that's upside down, that is Sarah Baker's Jungle Jezebel. Now, this is an honourable mention only for the fact, obviously it's just a little sample and I don't know the fragrance that well yet. I only wore it a few times, well quite a few times, as you can see. Of course you can see the cat there. Now, one of the main players in this is beautiful tuberose, which if you know me, you know what that does to me anyway. Love my white florals, but the tuberose is a very bubblegummy, poppy tuberose, and there's that hint of banana, and obviously there's that very, very dirty animalic note comes through this. Beautiful fragrance, but that's my honourable mention. Now, coming in at number 7, if it stays in focus, is Frederic Malle's Lipstick Rose. Again, quite new to this fragrance, and I don't have a lot, and these are all unisex-ish fragrances, but not that that matters. But I think this fragrance, if anyone wore this, would drive me crazy. It's got lovely, gorgeous violet and rose, but it's that powdery sensuality to it, and it works out quite sticky, more so than powdery. Just a beautiful mix, and obviously, as we all know, that smell of makeup and lipstick is just kind of, well, when are you going to smell that most? When you're kissing someone, probably. So yeah, that's Lipstick Rose from Frederic Malle. Also, what Frederic Malle does, waffling on, is obviously uses musks magically. The musks in this, again, they just draw you in. You'd just be nuzzling at someone's neck for hours with this one. So yep, that's number 7. Well, they're not in any order, but that's number 7. Lipstick Rose from Frederic Malle. Next up, we have Alien Essence Absolutio, or however you want to say it. Now, obviously, the bottle is quite seductive, as we can see there. Ignoring this bit, that's somebody else, and this, that somebody else compares to something else. This video is not X-rated, you know who you are. But yes, this has that alien DNA. Will that appear later? Who knows? And that alien DNA drives me mental. It is just so unique, so powerful, so beautiful. And the jasmine, the florals in it have this kind of really kind of dirty, dark edge to them. And I think anyone will go crazy over this. And again, my experience is the original Alien's more for a bolder lady. This one, with that beautiful vanilla and resinous feel, slight boozy, is more of a sensual one. This is more kind of snuggling up and keeping warm by the fire kind of fragrance. So yes, that's number 6. That's Alien Absolutio. And in at number 5 is this beauty. Now I know you're going to say, this isn't unisex. Yes, it is. I mean, this makes a man smell very manly, and this makes a lady smell incredibly attractive. Just that beautiful leather and rose going through this. I know there's iris in this, and that's obviously what it's famous for, but for me, it's the rose that does it for me in this one. This is what sets it apart from the other ones, and the leather, and obviously the vanilla, and it's got one of my favourite notes running through it, that gorgeous ambrette. Oh, anyone who could resist this just isn't human, really. Again, I think people might not like it themselves because it's a bit strong, but if you smell this in the air, you'll definitely be turning your head. So that's number 5, and that's Dior Homme Parfum. Now this one's predictable again from me. This has been decanted into this, and this is of course Kilian's Love and Tears Surrender. This again is just so beautiful. It is summer in a bottle, but it's that jasmine. Obviously by now you can see that jasmine's kind of my weak spot. It's got basically endless amounts of white florals in it. It's of tuberose, lily, jasmine. It's the sort of fragrance where you can imagine, you know, you're having a picnic and you're getting wafts of this in the air, and then, you know, that's what the picnic blanket's for. So this is number 4. And this is Kilian Love and Tears, an absolute jasmine, white floral, sensual, beautiful bomb of a fragrance. Number 3. Now this is an inspired by version, and you know, so what? This is an inspired by of Black Opium. I do have a little sample of the original. And you're probably wondering, this is not you, this is so low down on the list. The reason is the memories of this are more to do with kind of that falling rather than what this list is about, that kind of boxer dropping thing. So yes, obviously this would turn my head and make me weak at the knees, but perhaps not want to, you know, it's coarse, isn't it? But this is number 3, and this is Narcotic Noir from Pocket Scents, and this is an inspired of the gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful, peachy, again, white floral, little dark hints of coffee, Black Opium. Number 2 on the list, again you've seen this recently, is Kilian's Rolling in Love. Now this, the best way to describe this is, if you haven't smelt it, is kind of, if you know Nishani's 100 Silent Ways and Black Opium as that, and you mix them together, it's slightly different. It doesn't smell like them both, if you get what I mean. It's similar but not too similar. But it's like a more kind of, I don't know how to say it, like a loved up version of it. Obviously, I'm not going to say it's a niche version of a Nishane, but it's kind of, it goes in a different direction. That Nishane is kind of more about the musks and the kind of smooth vanilla. Well, it's not vanilla heavy, but it's got, you know, it goes in that way. Whereas this one has a bit more of a musky edge to it. It has a streak of that darkness going through it. It's got that little peachy vibe as well. Obviously, it makes me think of Black Opium, but again, it's more white florals. This is a white scent, and that ambrette for me is what I think I described it as like the love side of it. With ambrette smelling red, it gives it this kind of really sensual, warm, you want to kiss someone touch about it. Anyway, that's supposed to be brief, this video, so waffling on. That's Rolling in Love from Kilian. And number 1 is another inspired by, it's called Morpheus, and this is from Rosa Salas. Now you can see I've used bloody loads of it. I love this. It is very close to the original. The original, I don't own a bottle of the original because I find it just a bit too much for me to wear, so this does the job for me. But this is, I think I've said before, this fragrance, when I first smelt this, it's the first time, and I was quite young, so I quite boldly went up to a lady who I walked past, smelt it, and I thought, what the is that? Walked back up to her like a weirdo and was like, I'm sorry, but what are you wearing? And she said this. And this sounds naughty, but I've basically tried to get every girlfriend I've ever been with to wear this, because this just drives me absolutely crazy. And I think it does a lot of men, because it's not your typical white floral. It's not soft and pretty, and it's just got this real dark, slightly dirty element about it. It's really, well, back in them days it was really, really unique. And it's not, it's obviously the jasmine, but it's the way they did the white musk things with this that kind of runs through the whole entire line of the 450,000 flankers of it. But Alien is just a masterpiece, and it will always make me weak at the knees. It will always get them boxes on the floor. But yes, that's my number 1. and that's Morpheus from Rosa Salas, which is inspired by Alien from Thierry Mugler.